next thing you know, she'll fly open the door, and he looks at me, and he's got this smile on his face. He's like, I'm so sorry, but I did something really bad, and I made a big mistake, and I really didn't mean to do it. Like, what would you do? And that's when his smile completely shut off. So I think he realized, like, he really just took some flag. He's like, I killed somebody outside.
Did he tell you how he killed him? How did he?
He beat the fuck out of him and then stabbed him in the bar.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. If y'all seen my first video, I want to say thank you. If y'all haven't, I better tap back in and more in. Make sure y'all go like that video. Subscribe to my channel so that you get a notification whenever I post. We're gonna be reacting to a body cam footage. The title is 17-year-old leaves bodies at local dumpster. We're gonna see how this goes. Like this video. If y'all have any negative things to say, I don't care. Leave that for your mama because it ain't for me. But for the people who are here and they love what they see, stay here. I appreciate y'all. Let's go ahead and get into the video.
Police are at the Morning Tree Park apartment complex after reports of a dead body in the area. Lying next to the dumpster is a body with multiple stab wounds so brutally beaten that it's nearly unrecognizable.
You have a good face shot, the guy? Not a good face shot, because it's like this. That's why I was associated.
Officers immediately suspected that one of the tenants in the complex was the killer, but they would be...
That lady had a whole chicken in her hands in an apartment complex.
suspected that one of the tenants in the complex was the killer, but they would be horribly wrong.
Where the fuck she eating chicken from?
Blood all over the ground by the dumpster, and that his head looked like a smashed watermelon.
Beat the fuck out of him and then stabbed him in the bar.
That's when he started getting him. He hit him a couple of times and then stomped him a couple of times.
A violent, unpredictable teen killer was on the loose, and police needed to find him before he murders again.
Step out of the apartment now. You are surrounded.
Doors open.
Police department!
In the early morning of July 30th, 2023, Lakewood police received a call from the Morning Tree Park apartment complex. The caller reported finding something next to a dumpster, describing it as gruesome. Officers were quickly dispatched to investigate.
So who was the one that saw him? Who called? You did, sir?
Me.
So what happened? What did you see? Like, how did this all...
Okay, me and her, we kind of like...
Bro, lady in the back want to be relevant so bad. Why is she sitting here recording? They trying to paint out every officer to sit here and be a bad guy. I'm sorry to say, y'all, but I don't like the police. But the problem is you got people like this that sit here and paint it out like every officer is just a big bad guy. This bitch is their laugh concern.
Like dumpster digging, right? And I see this red stuff, you know, leaking out the dumpster. So I went in there, and I see his body in there.
While dumpster diving, Ted had come across blood leaking out from under the dumpster. When he looked inside, he found an elderly man lying lifeless, bloodied and beaten until his face was no longer recognizable. Officers now needed to identify both the victim and the person responsible. Fortunately, there was someone at the complex who could help them with the former.
So...
I see his blood.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out if you might... Sounds like that he's one of your residents.
Like the look.
This is Ryan, the apartment complex manager, and he's going to be vital in finding out who the victim actually is.
Because we don't have Mike E, right?
No, we don't.
Okay, so let's...
That's not the very good.
So we recognize this guy? Obviously, it's not the best picture, but... You think you know who he is?
Possibly. If I can see the picture again, it'd be better to identify now.
How about you just give me the name, I can bring up DOL.
He wouldn't be in there.
What's that?
He wouldn't be in there.
Well, I'm sure he'll have some kind of ID. You don't think so?
Absolutely not.
Never?
No.
Okay.
He was a really nice guy, actually, though. I mean, I had a relationship with him, you know, like friendly.
You need?
You don't even trust like anybody with like social security cards or
Why you
anything.
felt the
You
need
won't-
to specify
you won't sign a
federal?
lease.
That nigga
So
really be gay.
he'd probably be about
In no
63,
shade.
65, somewhere in there. He's
No shade to the gays. I know it's Pride Month just passed shit, you know. How that song go? You are.
Be who you are for your pride.
Whatever, y'all know what I'm talking about.
partially African American, but he's really light skinned.
Skinny, tall,
Yes.
skinny.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be Leonard. That could be Leonard.
What's his last name?
And we're working on that right now.
Well, they're turning their computers on right now, right?
You want to come with me? I can just give you a key. I'll give you a ride over there and ride back if you want.
No. We'll drive over there to go check on it. But yeah, but she's still trying to pull the data.
Yeah, but I can pull a key for you and she'll get that.
Yeah, we'll go check on it. So
All right.
A9, I will meet you over there.
The officers finally had a name, Leonard, but that doesn't solve their biggest problem. According to the manager, Leonard suffered from extreme paranoia and refused to have any form of identification associated with the government. Without proper identification, the investigation would soon become a lot more challenging. Still, officers would search their system, hoping something might come up.
Find it.
I found a couple. We just have to start running them for
Any DOL or prior bookings or anything? There's bookings. That's
2019.
okay. Now he's dealing with crap too. Okay, we're gonna go to A9 and see if this guy's there. Okay. So Megan, no, do you mind talking to my partner? He's the one that's primary.
Okay.
We're gonna go check that apartment that you gave us. Make
You're
sure
the
there's no one
lady
in
with
there.
the
But if you
fucking
want to sit down and hang out,
Okay.
While
Mine
officers
is just
continued
sitting
searching the
on
database
hand.
for possible matches, others
Got
went to
that
check the
thing
supposed
sitting up
victim's
like a
apartment, and
pet
with help from the
snake.
manager, they quickly got the key.
Leonard, Lakewood Police, we just need to know that you're okay. If you want to, we'll just announce for Leonard.
Yep. I could yell for him.
Go ahead.
Hey, Leonard! Leonard!
If you're in here, let us know.
After a quick look around the apartment, Leonard was nowhere to be found. At the same time, officers had just matched the victim's face to Leonard's image using police database. So there was no doubt now. The victim was 64-year-old Leonard Williams. Neighbors and staff described Leonard as a friendly and compassionate person. Although he often kept to himself, he was known to be extremely kind to fellow residents. But the investigation was far from over. Officers still had to determine who was behind the brutal attack and why. Back at the scene, one officer had discovered some crucial evidence that would bring the police one step closer to the killer.
Okay, so if you walk that way, and actually, obviously it's dark at that hour, but if you walk that route that you just said, and somebody happened to shine their lights into the dumpster area, you would see him laying there. Was there any trash outside of the dumpster area, the path that you guys would have walked?
This officer just picked up on something crucial. The area around the dumpster was extremely messy, and blood was leaking from it. Any person would have easily spotted that, let alone an officer. Turns out, just 12 hours earlier, police had been dispatched to that same apartment complex on a noise disturbance complaint. The call was made around 8 p.m., and the responding officer's dash cam shows him returning to his vehicle by walking through the side path. The exact one that leads up to the dumpster where Leonard was found. The officer didn't notice any leaking blood or hear suspicious commotion, which means that whatever had occurred had happened after the officer left. From this, the timeline of the murder was vastly narrowed. But more importantly, the disturbance call that the officer responded to had been made about a group of teenagers from the apartment complex unit J54. According to the manager, this group was well known for partying several days of the week and not paying
J54, what that is, a gang? Like,
their rent on time. However, little did they know that the police would catch on to what they were doing at last night's party and why there was a dead body just a few feet away
they're
from
doing
their apartment.
rituals and shit.
As this was the only lead that police had, a search warrant for Unit J54 was issued, and officers quickly arrived at the residence looking for any signs of foul play.
Get the manager.
Oh, there we go. Hey, Grenade, Lakewood Police. Anybody else inside here with you? Sit quiet, let's get over here for a second, okay? Who's all here with you?
Just me and two people.
Where are they at?
I don't really know.
What are their names?
Jaden
Jaden and who?
Jaden and Ty.
Jaden and Ty, come on out. What up?
Bro, look at this sharn, bro. I know one of these people did not kill that man. An old elderly, they gonna get done up in prison. I promise you that.
Hey, come on out.
They gonna get done up.
Where's he at?
He was to the corner store.
What's that?
He went to the corner
You
store.
went to the corner store?
When officers arrived, Alina and Jaden were found inside the apartment. One of the teens, named Ty, seemed to have fled when officers arrived and was nowhere to be found in the unit. His friends claimed he went to the corner store to buy some snacks, but officers would soon discover that was a complete lie. For now, though, officers decided to interview the group, unaware one of them was about to confess to the gruesome details of Leonard's murder. But before we continue,
That's
life
a
can change in an
psychopath.
instant. That's what happened in November 2021, when a father of two was tragically shot and killed while attending a pop-up party held at an Orlando business complex that lacked proper security. His grieving family needed help fighting for accountability, facing powerful property owners. They turned to the sponsors of today's video, Morgan & Morgan. Their experienced attorneys fought hard and secured an
Man, I hate when people do this. Like, why are they putting an ad into their video, into the context of the video? Like, no! Block it out! Block it out! Block it out!
11 million or 40 times to find out, or the people getting up. With that said, let's get back to the investigation. Officers were about to interview the teens who remained in the apartment, suspecting they know more than they've let on.
Not here?
Yep. Do you know why we're here?
Yeah.
You're not, so I'll make it clear to you, you're not in trouble right now, but you're a witness to something. And so we need to talk about that, okay?
I wasn't.
I got video.
You can say I was a witness, and I understand, but when I heard what he did, I did not walk down the stairs for a reason.
What did you hear that he did?
I heard that he beat up this dude for really no reason. He said that the homeless guy stepped to him, or the homeless guy asked for a cigarette or something.
Yeah. How well do you know him?
Chubbs.
Yeah.
I known him for like a month.
Oh, he's a snitch. He done folded on their ass.
So,
Chubbs,
happened
he
here the
done
other night?
folded on Chubbs. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, what happened? Tell me a little bit
Folded on
about it.
Chubbs.
Chubbs had a little incident.
I can't. You gotta.
Chubbs had a little incident.
Yeah, what was Chubbs?
Chubbs had a little incident.
By the
She's
garbage can?
telling. By the garbage can, bro. She
Well,
telling.
I know what happened already, okay?
Chubbs just would get mad and people would say that
It's not her
he would
man.
do it.
Shoot.
He
What she
wouldn't
got
do
to
it,
not lie
and
for?
he'd just go on into do it. But that
Chubbs definitely had a problem.
yeah, when he drunk, he would get very violent.
Okay.
He would be very unhappy. The next thing you know, Chubbs flies open the door and he looks at me and he's got this smile on his face. He's like, I'm so sorry, but I did something really bad and I made a big mistake and I really didn't mean to do it. Like, what would you do? And that's when his smile completely shut off. So I think he realized, like, he really just took some life. And then he's like, I killed somebody outside.
Did he tell you how he killed him? How did he?
He beat the fuck out of him and then stabbed him in the bar. This guy is laying down on the side of his face, like against this way.
Mm-hmm.
All you see is him, Chubbs is like down on the ground recording him, and then just starts kicking it like it's a joke.
With these two new crucial statements, police now had two suspects at large, Chubbs and Ty, with their primary focus being on 17-year-old Brody Chubbs Brownell.
Did y'all see? Where is he? Who is he looking at?
With their primary focus being on 17-year-old Brody Chubbs
Bro is cross-eyed is a bitch, bro. He is cross-eyed.
Brownell. According to Alina,
How did he even see the man to kill him? Nigga looking like this. Throwing punches like this. Like, what?
Brody had 2 bottles of tequila
What?
and was also high on marijuana the previous night. To make matters worse, he had a reputation for getting violent when drunk. At some point,
then
he
if
briefly
you
stepped
can't
outside
hold
the
your liquor,
apartment
why
and
are you
happened
drinking?
to cross
Why are you
paths
drinking
with
if you
Leonard
cannot
in
hold
the
your
parking
liquor?
lot.
Period.
Leonard may
Should
have
not be
confronted
drinking.
him about the loud music, or, given his
They be
paranoia,
saying
he
it's
might
the
have simply been
spirits.
talking to himself.
It be
Either
them
way,
spirits.
Brody likely saw him as an easy target, and Leonard became the victim of his violent outburst. Alina was also the first to mention something even more disturbing. Brody had recorded the entire thing on Snapchat. He filmed himself beating and stabbing Leonard to death, then sent the video to friends at the party. With Brody as their prime suspect, officers remained on high alert, going so far as to request air support in search for him. In the meantime,
man
police
did
were
not
notified
care if he
about a
got
male
caught.
who was running around the Morning Tree complex. He was identified to be Trey Crystal, or Ty, the one who fled from Alina's apartment when the officers had arrived with a search warrant. Shortly after confirming his identity, he agreed to speak with detectives. Detectives needed to determine whether Ty had played any role in the murder, and if he knew where Brody was hiding.
People like this are the ones who, if they didn't get caught, they would have been on a whole spree. They would have been on a murder spree. I'm telling you. I don't know if y'all ever heard of the stories where people sit there and like go around to homeless people and like just start like stabbing them or shooting them out of nowhere. Like they go to the strip. There was a case out in Tampa where like basically man came out and just started killing, like shooting homeless people with BB guns and shit. And like it's a big thing where people actually have a vendetta against homeless people. Like honestly, if you're homeless, I hope you're not watching my video. I hope you got your priorities straight. Like and subscribe. But if you are, bro, watch your back, because people out here do not care. They want to feel necessary. They want to feel like that nigga, like that bitch, like they want to be him, and they're not, because they're taking advantage of people who don't have anything in the first place. Dead wrong.
Just tell me a story. Just take me from the beginning to the end. What happened that night?
Yeah, he ended up really drunk, and then he was like trying to fight everyone at the party.
Like he looked guilty.
But no
Look
one
at
would
him.
fight him because either they would win, and then he was like backing down, or stuff like that.
Okay.
So he couldn't fight anyone there, and so he went outside all mad. And then there was this homeless dude or whoever it was walking by, and then he was like, "Oh, keep stepping, keep walking." And then the homeless dude was like, "All right," and then he was like just walking away, and then Chubbs just started getting mad, and then just like ran up on him and punched him. And then he just started stomping on him. After a minute or two, he went inside, and then he like grabbed the knife, and everyone was trying to stop him, but like he was kind of scary with the knife because he was really drunk.
According to Ty, he fled the apartment out of fear. Although Ty's statement aligned with those of other witnesses, police couldn't definitively rule him out due to Ty.
And then he like grabbed the knife, and everyone was trying to stop him, but like he was kind of scary with the knife because he was really drunk.
According to Ty, he fled the apartment out of fear. Although Ty's statement aligned with those of other witnesses, police couldn't definitively rule him out due to his suspicious behavior. But for now, their priority was finding Brody. While the search was still ongoing, officers interviewed everyone who knew Brody to find out where he might have fled, including 2 of his best friends, Miguel Ventura and Dakota Johnson.
I ended up going, basically there was a party posted up that was over at one of our female friends' Britt's house, and eventually Chubbs, I guess he stormed outside. He got really upset. He was drinking 1800 at the time, like tequila.
Sorry, but if you drink 1800, you are an aggressor, period. It's the dark that keep you calm. Do your research before y'all start sitting here drinking anything. And then the people who drank beer, oh.
There was someone standing by the
y'all need to
garbage
be
cans,
in a mental
and
asylum.
He got really angry at him because I think they were staring at him. He just got closer to him, and I think the dude yelled something at him, and then he just started swinging on him. I get down the stairs, and then that's when he started getting him. He hit him a couple of times, and then stomped him a couple of times, and by that point, like, it was too
Everybody watching this happen, ain't nobody helping that man. That poor guy.
much. Like, it was just a lot. I grabbed him by his chest and everything. I tried to pull him.
Was there anybody else that was hitting the guy? Was there anybody else kicking him, hitting him, punching, stomping? And you had text messages with him shortly after. Can you kind of explain to me about those text messages?
It was like the day after he had done it.
Okay.
He did coke and he beat the crap out of this guy and killed him and stabbed him in the neck. And then there was like blood all over the ground by the dumpster, and that his head looked like a smashed watermelon. He told me that he tried to put him in the trash can himself, but he couldn't do it. So that's why he stabbed him in the neck.
While officers continued interviewing witnesses, Brody had just been located hiding in his family home 40 minutes away in the city of Yelm.
Hiding in his family home? What does that mean? Aren't you supposed to be in the family home? Isn't that where they was probably their first place to look for him? Was the family fucking home? Like, what do you mean?
A SWAT team quickly descended on the residence, ready to take Brody down if he made any wrong move.
Alright, hey, you three.
They got a whole
If there's people milling around up front, we're going to detain them right off the bat. So be ready to go hands as soon as they move up.
They run or we're letting them run, right?
Yeah. Alright, we're capped. That team's rolling up. Male in the stairwell. Domitz's first entryway right here on the right. Hey, move up. Move up. I want to be able to see that door. Hey, let's bring it back here. No sense in standing out there. No sense in staying out there. There we go. All right, I got hands on her. Okay. You got cuffs? Yep.
Imagine you step outside your apartment complex. See, it's your neighbor from across the hall. You step outside to go outside, and next thing, all you see is all these police, the SWAT team, pointing their guns at you like, nigga, put your hands up. Put them up. Like, where's you going? Because you ain't leaving.
Okay. All right, step this way. Just keep your hands up.
I want you to set your phone and your drink on that little concrete barrier right there.
You need to set?
Now I want you to step out to me. Come on. Put your hands on your head, flip around, face the building.
Okay. We're good for right now.
Down.
We're just detaining one more.
Hey, come down. Head it
See
down
what
right
I tell
there.
you.
Now put your hands on top of your head and step over to me.
The resident.
I don't know what's going on. I'm like, what the hell?
Brian and Jeff, the first two to come out, were Brody's friends, staying in the apartment with him. The two claimed they didn't have any knowledge of what was going on or why Brody was being arrested. The next one to come out was their primary target, Brody himself.
Remember, I took a study of cats.
You guys can even hang here. We're just going to send an entry team out. Just want eyes on them.
Okay. Hey, Jay, just for your knowledge,
I could just go ahead and hang here, you know. Every police officer has a police officer accent. Just like news reporters have that news reporter accent, police officers have that police officer accent. Like, for some reason, they just get all country and start talking all country and shit.
phone and Sprite belong to white t-shirt, cell phone, and what he was holding, black t-shirt.
Okay. All right.
Good?
Kevin, who we got? Ryan, Casas, Mike, and I are going to move up. You guys hold the windows.
Hey, that's primary on
Yep.
Primary right there.
All right, black shirt. Start walking this way. Start walking this way. Keep walking, keep walking, keep walking.
Here, walk to me. Face the building. Put your hands on your head.
All right, primary's in custody.
Brody was finally escorted from the house and delivered into the hands of justice. He was charged with assault and homicide in the first degree. He had originally pled not guilty, receiving a bail
What's on his arm? What is that?
of $1.5 million. Neither Ty nor anyone else at the party was charged, as the Snapchat video clearly shows that Brody acted alone, consistent
Where'd the
with
video
witness
at? Let me
statements.
see the video, bro.
Although the exact motive for the murder
that
remains
bad?
unclear, Brody's extreme intoxication and well-documented issues with aggression led to the tragic death of a kind and gentle person.
Poor
Following
man.
his initial hearing, Brody
That looked like
returned
his
to
mama
court
right there.
and changed his plea to guilty. He received the maximum sentence of 25 years in prison.
Damn. 25 years. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually kind of crazy. In the last vid, lady only got 6 years and 3 years probation. It was something like that. She only got like 6 years. Whole time she literally plotted to kill that man. Tess fired the gun that morning. If y'all ain't see that video, make sure y'all go back and watch that video. It's the first video I ever dropped on this channel. Okay, like
Prison.
But with that being said, that's that. I appreciate y'all for coming back to my channel and fucking with the videos. Make sure y'all like, cause on the last one y'all forgot to like. I don't know what's up with y'all, but you know, if you got any suggestions or if y'all want to see different type of content, just comment and let me know. I appreciate y'all for coming up. Goodbye.